video is brought to you in part by Korn and Smash Brothers.
Kornami.
Kornami.
Back in my day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Brick Wall commentary.
Back in my day, instead of using vinyl smashes, we just threw husks of corn at each other.
Those are disgusting house centipedes right there.
I know, right?
No, those are Trilo, whatever those things are.
No, those are trilobites.
To Super Castlevania 4.
That's a game logo, Logan.
Whatever.
It's
Welcome,
painted
everybody.
rather well on the wall. Yeah, welcome. We're literally doing... This is going to be a... if it's not immediately obvious by the title, this is going to be a double look at because we're showing off the two Castlevania games that were released on the Super Nintendo because they align perfectly with the reveals that we recently got with Smash Brothers.
Well, recently at the time of recording this.
I will say, this shot right here is deliciously ominous.
Oh yeah, like...
Rise from your tomb.
Except for the bat there.
Yeah, it should be said that Super Castlevania 4 was literally right within the first few months of the console's launch, and what they were able to do with this game is still pretty impressive.
Ooh, can I read?
You read the last ones.
Okay.
Every 100 years, the forces of good mysteriously start to awaken. Thus,
You know
the
what?
power of
Hold on. Why don't we take turns reading these by sentences?
Okay.
Thus the power of Dracula starts to revive itself.
His power grows stronger and stronger every 100 years.
Dracula
Alright, see
has
the-
revived many times, however.
Yay.
His sinister actions have been consistently thwarted by the Belmont family.
Ooh yeah, fuck yeah, Belmonts.
You wrote 2 sentences.
Go hype.
She gets a pass. She barely reads these anyway.
Wait, it was my turn. Okay, you go first, then I will.
No, I insist after you.
Fine.
All these titles
It's
are going
been 100 years since the last confrontation between Dracula and the Belmont family. But now the serenity of Transylvania is being threatened by destructive forces.
Hey, who's the narrator here?
the viewers are so lucky these things are freaking slow for us to be able to do this.
And on a dark and eerie night, Dracula rose from his grave to unleash his destructive power over the countryside. Yuck.
Once again, Simon Belmont is called upon to destroy Dracula.
Why am I not surprised that was going to happen?
With only his wit and courage.
I knew you were gonna do that!
Sorry, go ahead. Celia should read the last part.
Once again, Simon Belmont is called upon to destroy Dracula. With only his whip and courage, he sets out to restore peace to Transylvania.
And this intro pretty much confirms that Simon Belmont can live over 100 years to once again whip Dracula's butt.
Yeah, so this isn't a reboot. This is supposed to take place sometime after the first one.
In the English translation, in the Japanese translation, this is a full-blown reboot to Castlevania 1.
Okay.
Which honestly makes more sense when you stop and think about it.
Right.
Wait, is the highlight cursor there a heart?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's a key to the heart.
your heart. Yeah,
I
because
thought
your
that was
heart's.
a flame!
Simone.
Well, now it's a flame on the Simone.
Simone.
Simonella.
Simonella.
Simon,
Yeah, no, on the main menu is a heart.
Please
Yeah,
tell
no.
me that's an actual cheat code for the game.
I wish, but no, that's just a callback to our Castlevania Chronicles look at where I gave Simon's file the exact same name. It just, I don't know why, it works so well.
So what makes this game unique in comparison to all other Castlevania games beforehand?
What makes it so super?
Well, what makes it super? Well, this version of Simon does not have any sort of arthritis. He can actually move any direction he jumps. And not only that, he can also aim his whip.
Wow.
What do you know? Castlevania is building itself up from the ground.
Literally. Like, this game wants to prove just why the Super Nintendo is so super.
It's as if Castlevania itself is a creature of chaos.
It can take many forms.
Incarnations.
There's Vampire.
Ooh.
Also, we can go back. Okay. Well, see, I actually just now.
Multi-layered gameplay. Eat that,
I-
Kirby.
I actually just now remembered that,
Actually, don't eat that, Kirby.
I don't think I've ever actually asked, what is Castlevania itself supposed to be? Is that the name of his castle, or is that just,
Yes, the name of the
Yes,
castle.
the name of the castle.
I've never known that. I just thought it was like, oh yeah, Transylvania, Castlevania, but...
I forget what game makes that canon, but yeah, like all the the whole entire castle literally is called Castlevania, and it's like, it makes sense. That's the name of the game.
Okay.
I will say, I am really digging this version of, what's the song called?
Simon's theme.
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought it was
really
Vampire
digging
Slayer.
this version of Simon's theme.
Well, this is also the game that Simon's theme made its debut. I mean, rightfully so, because we're playing as Simon Belmont.
What
like
a
this
good,
game.
what a damn first impression, though.
I like this game's version of Bloody Tears.
That one, I don't mind that one either. I can think of better versions of Bloody Tears, but yeah, no, the soundtrack in general for Super Castlevania 4 is really damn good.
Oh,
It really
whoa,
goes to show that Konami knew what they were doing with the Super Nintendo and its
Whoa.
capabilities. Oh, that's right. This is the game that also introduces the Belmont.
The dangly whip.
The free whip, which
The
basically...
dingle dangle.
Which actually, the Simon Dingle Dangle. How about I give you a taste of my
Wrangle
Dingle
new
Dangle?
Simon.
But honestly, can I just say, like, that impresses me a lot for the time this came out, that for that to work, they actually had to implement a sort of physics engine.
Oh, now we could cling to... Wait, is this a new ability, or did this start earlier?
New ability.
No, this is new. In fact, honestly, a lot of stuff that you can do in Super Castlevania 4 it primarily debuted in this game, and for the most part, it's stayed with this game.
Which is cool. I like this.
I mean,
dig
assuming
this.
you don't count like all the Metroidvanias that came afterwards, but no, like for the classic Vanias, this is probably the most acrobatic and versatile Belmont will ever be.
But does he still have knockback?
Yes, he still has knockback.
Oh boy.
Careful.
So you do want to be wary of that. Though I think it's dependent on where you're standing.
You know what? I'm gonna admit something. Outside of, like, 500 points apiece, what do the money bags actually do?
They're just score.
They're just score?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
It's not like Rondo of Blood, where you can actually use it for the sake of buying tips on how to beat a certain boss.
Ooh, what's that up there?
Oh, I want to know.
Just
Snakes.
yeah, pile of snakes as far as I'm concerned, or it could just be some weird mutated algae.
It could be some sort of legion.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Go in there, Mr.
Don't
Bullhead.
Do not even fucking remind me of Legion. He's a scary motherfucker.
Dude, it's a giant ball of bodies. What do you expect?
So we're doing this game to show off that, yes, this, at least in terms of how he appears, it looks like Simon, carrying his design from this game, more so, I think, is coming to Smash officially.
Along with his descendant, Richter Belmont.
Well, that'll be later. We'll be talking about that game a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Richter later, but I will say that was a massive fucking surprise, and I'm so grateful for that, considering he's my favorite of the Belmonts.
Oh hey! Look at the horse in the background. Oh wait,
Nice.
that's not...
Skeleton horse.
Oh, those are...
Where are they eating at? Are they zombie horse?
There's grazing, but I'll also say I'm also I'm like similar to how Ryu they actually like, which is so cool how they actually programmed in Ryu's original like Street Fighter controls for people who played the original. Like that was really cool, like the quarter circles and everything. I also was impressed that they actually went the extra mile to actually implement Simon's free whip controls, which I'm curious to see what kind of tech...
Well, to be fair, they had that originally with Sheik.
That's true.
Oh, I can't wait to see a pure dangle battle at Evo.
Actually, I think they got rid of Sheik's side special since Smash 4.
Yeah, they did.
probably for that purpose. But I'm curious to see what his I can't wait to see the kind of tech people will pull off with that in.
Oh no.
Oh, dude,
man.
Smash Ultimate's already looking pretty tech heavy. I mean, have you seen the fight between King K. Rool and Snake?
Oh my
I know,
god.
like, those cannon strats though. Whoa,
Those cannon
don't be doing no
balls.
wink on me. What the?
Yeah, don't go down beyond me, you son of a bitch.
There.
Cheater.
Go get it.
Dangle for great
Oh,
victory.
Ah, damn it.
James doesn't get brownie points. He didn't get it in midair.
Not this time. I was too busy dingle-donging.
Do that dingle dong and elsewhere.
He's doing the wang jangle.
Wank.
The wangle dangle was
Ooh.
that?
Do that voodoo you do so well.
Fancy
Going
world
in-
map.
That was
This
a
is
vampire
going in
bat.
all. This look is going in all the wrong directions, much like the dingle
Yeah.
dangle.
I'm sorry,
So,
where were we just now? Like Dracula's stable?
Yeah.
His country house?
We're actually not in Castlevania yet, surprisingly. We're on the trip to Castlevania.
But it seems that Castlevania's reach...
But then Simon got bored and got lost and decided to stop doing this. The end.
And
Oh.
game switch.
Oh, bye-bye.
Yep, so now we're going to look at the other game that the Super Nintendo got based on the Castlevania license, and this was pretty much Konami's sort of apology, in kind of half-hearted one, for the fact that they couldn't get Rondo of Blood into the States.
And it came out on my birth year.
This is Castlevania Dracula X.
Nice.
AKA Rondo of Blood for the Super Nintendo. And, well, let's just say that, well, it did change quite a bit compared to the original. Some not quite for the best. But I will forgive some of its aspects, like, this intro's pretty cool.
Transylvania, the medieval ages. An evil darkness had befallen the land, giving rise to sinister vampire legend.
Until now, the people of Transylvania had grown accustomed to their peaceful existence, secure in the knowledge that their famed hero, Simon Bakemont, had sealed the fate of Count Dooku for 100 years prior.
100 years prior.
Wicked townsfolk, possessed by the darkness, conspired to revive the King of Blood, Dracula. Now undead once more, plotted to exact revenge upon the descendant of the family that destroyed him, Richter Belmont. Also, that face in the lower right was terrifying. That face in the lower right was terrifying. That old man was scarier than the zombies.
Richter, burdened by his destiny, left for Dracula's castle with his legendary ancestral whip, the Determinatione, to save his loved ones, and the resolve to send Dracula to eternal damnation once and for all.
Rated E for everyone, by the way.
So here we have Richter Belmont.
What a stupid name for a whip. The Determinatione.
Sounds like a real dork.
And for the record, folks, I'm not even kidding with that. Castlevania Dracula X, despite its somewhat bloody disposition here, I think it managed to get an E for everyone rating.
It was a different time.
Actually, come to think of it, let me check on there real quick.
Also, James, we've seen this game. James, we've looked at this game before. It's Rondo of Blood. It's...
Oh, but you have not, because this is much different than the original Rondo of Blood.
Fancy sprite effects.
What's with that guitar?
It's playing Bloodlines. Or no, I think this is either Overture or Bloodlines.
So wait, what system did this game
come
out on?
Hang on. What's up, Seeley?
What would you do if you went to Transylvania?
Kill Dracula once, and how do that
stay
immediately?
the fuck away from Hoyabachu Forest?
Both of those things work. So
Yes, wrong, but isn't Transylvania a little not too far off from Prague?
It was a reference.
I think they're both in the Czech Republic. I could be wrong.
But I will
I could be very wrong about that, actually.
But I will say, But I will say, I will say, yes. So the other three, this is the twofer that James wanted to do, because this is also the second Echo character that was announced at the same time as Simon, his great-grandson.
Oh, yeah.
Richter Belmont. And, I mean, again, being a big Rondo of Blood fan, it kind of made me very happy to see him be represented in Smash, even though it sort of disproved my theory that what they were going to do for Simon is that all of his alts would be, like, multiple members of the Belmont clan.
Oh, like each and every single Belmont going on, like, ambushing the enemy?
Basically, it'd be kind of like Bowser Jr. and the Koopa Links.
So you have Simon, you have Richter, you have Chris, you have,
You've got Maria Grenard.
Leon, you have...
You've got Alucard.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't know about
Alucard doesn't play anything like the other Belmonts, thank you very much.
But I'm glad they kept Richter. I was glad they kept Richter, mainly because I think, especially because of his involvement in Symphony of the Night, how I think he's the most I think famous one besides Simon.
Yeah, he is. Just because a lot of people actually played that one.
Right.
Though I'm sure those same people are probably...
I was just gonna say, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't go with Trevor, considering how popular the Netflix series is.
I think the reason why they didn't stick to Trevor is because, well, I mean, granted, I would have loved to have seen that design in Smash, but I think it might be a case where it's a design that was made for cartoons, and usually Nintendo doesn't like to follow those designs.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Some fast knives.
Okay, so I tried asking a question before, but I think it went unnoticed. What system is this for?
Super Nintendo.
This isn't Super Nintendo? The audio is so much better.
Again, this is basically they made a Super Nintendo version / Super Famicom version of Dracula of Rondo of Blood because again, being exclusive to a console that nobody owned at that time because well we already had the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, so on and so forth. They want to make up for that by putting this game on something that was more popular, the Super Nintendo. And well, in a way, I can sort of understand what I appreciate the thought. It's just that in doing so, they kind of neutered certain aspects from the original game, like the fact that I would say that Richter doesn't control quite as solidly as it
Cerberus.
does in the original, and the level design is is a bit more dickish than what we got in Rondo of Blood.
Cerberus.
I don't know. The audio and visual department's looking pretty stunning to me.
It's the design. We're talking about the design, like the actual, like the placement of platforms and die Cerberus.
Oh, so like the
Yeah.
actual construction of levels.
Yeah, the asshole construction of the levels is what gets under people's skin the most. And oh yeah, and I saw the auto crash, so that's helpful. But another thing that I would argue is kind of a sin in this game, Maria Bernard is in this game, but she's not playable.
What?
Aww.
Where is she?
No.
She was the most OP thing in Rondo.
I know, right? And they just make her a random damsel in distress, along with her, well, sister as in this game, Annette.
That's
I'm
dumb.
assuming there's no voice acting.
No, there's not.
Aww.
You can't really translate that all that well into a Super Nintendo game.
Fair enough.
But anyway, if you're ever gonna play a version of a Rondo of Blood, I would just say go play Rondo of Blood or the Dracula X
I'm
Chronicles.
going
Dracula
on a-
X I would only recommend playing for the sake of curiosity, but unless you don't mind,
I'm gonna save the day. Nothing can stop me. Nothing.
Admittedly, I do kind of like how the sky up there looks like the ripples of the water.
It does. It's kind of cool.
It's like we're underwater, but we're still above water.
I'm sorry, James. I saw the timestamp approaching. I was like, I bet I know what's gonna happen, and I had to get ready.
That's totally fair. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our look at on Super Castlevania 4 and Castlevania Dracula X, aka the not that great Rondo of Blood. Anyway,
It still looks great.
I mean, it looks great. It's just that if you're gonna compare the two, it's like the other version's gonna beat the living daylights out of it, just on sheer principle of it being more accessible, especially nowadays. But on that note, I'm JamesmanXtreme.
Lucky Jack 20.
Highland Princess Lita.
I'm Soma Cruz. Or at least I believe I am.
And I'm here.
You are.
Yes, you were.
Yep.
And well, see you all for Smash.
Bye bye.